Hey everyone, welcome to my second vlog. Thanks for tuning in after the last one was unfortunately vertical. So I've been at Trello for 2 weeks now, really exciting times. We've hired a new product designer in that time, and we've got another CGL joining next week. We're still actively recruiting for a bunch of senior engineering roles. That's taken up a lot of my time, but other than that, I've been working on some exciting features and improving the speed of the system. So one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today though was what makes an engineer senior. So we've been hiring a couple of senior engineers at the moment, and a common question we get from candidates are things like, am I eligible to be a senior engineer despite only having 1, 2, 3, 4 years experience? So one thing I want to make really clear, and that I make clear to candidates when they join, is that here at Trello, we don't take experience as being an indicator of competency. So we have a competency-based progression framework, which means that it doesn't matter how many years of experience or lack thereof you have. You can be any part of you can be a junior, senior, staff, whatever, and it depends purely upon your competencies in the job and their alignment mostly to the engineering principles and the Trello values. So one of those principles is no silo, no solo. So working across the stack and supporting people on their features. So one of the most important things I think for a senior engineer is the ability to lead and support and mentor others. If you're a junior engineer, but you feel comfortable taking on a project outside of your depth because you know that person A is willing to support you and you trust them and their ability to solve problems, then what you're dealing with here is a senior engineer. So that's one of the competencies, is that mentoring, coaching, supporting others and features. Another key one is the ability to lead on technical decisions. So a part of our interview process is the system design challenge, and a lot of what that looks for is the ability for people to make careful trade-offs about technology choices and architectures, and that's something which obviously a senior needs to be very good at. We also expect that of our mid-level engineers, but to a less of an extent. So a mid-level engineer obviously needs to be able to think about how an API endpoint will interact with like the web versus mobile, and make sure that they design it in a way that's compatible and efficient to both. But a senior engineer may be responsible for things like, okay, if we build a data lake, what's the best database to use there? And that's a decision that a senior needs to be able to lead and be confident on taking into account all of the trade-offs there and making the right decision with the support and buy-in from the rest of the engineering team. Whew. And there's other elements of our competency-based framework. I won't bore you guys for too long, but some of them are things like thought leadership, writing articles, potentially doing vlogs, but don't worry, that's not compulsory. Developer advocacy, making sure that internal tools and and processes are efficient. So, if it's taking 25 minutes to run the tests, as a senior developer, it's important that you advocate for developer experience there and look for places where developers can be more efficient and productive. And then the second thing is to lead some of those projects in terms of technical debt. We have sprint cooldowns where we work on technical debt and developer priorities. And so senior developers need to be able to be the product owners of those kind of tasks and also look out for those efficiency gains. And the final one before I let you go is just about growing the team. So obviously we're currently driving the recruitment drive at the moment. Senior developers need to be able to actively look to grow and improve the recruitment of developers, whether that's through thought leadership, referrals, or just taking part in and improving the recruitment process itself. Those are just some of the things that make a senior engineer senior at Trello. So whether you've got 1 year of experience or 10 years of experience, if you think some of those things apply to you and you're willing to take a shot at it, please send us an email. We're looking for a senior full stack, a senior mobile, and a senior back end to build out the core of that engineering team. And then around that, we're going to get some juniors in a couple months' time and build some awesome things, guys. Really excited. Thanks a lot for listening.